Hi everyone, it's Dr. Christina, the Dr. Biohacking Supermom, and today I'll be sharing with you my simple secrets to biohacking colic. A new mom's biggest fear is that her child will develop colic. Colic is not linked to any condition. It really is just said to be when your child is crying 2 to 3 hours a day, usually later in the day, late afternoon, early evening, and we're pretty much told there's nothing that you can do about it. In my experience with treating babies in the last 20 years, I can definitely tell you there are simple things that you can do to help avoid colic. And if your baby does have colic, simple steps that you can take to relieve your child of that pain and discomfort they're feeling. My first step to biohacking colic is checking the latch. Not only do our babies not know how to breastfeed when they're born, but we also have never done it. And checking the latch is one of the first ways that you can make sure that your baby is not going to suffer from unexplained crying. If a baby is not correctly latching when they're nursing, they may be consuming a lot of air. And through the day, that air builds up in their belly. And in the mid-afternoon to early evening, they become very distended in their belly and can be very uncomfortable. And hence you get a baby that cries all night, 2 to 3 hours at a time. Checking the latch is one of my best ways for you to start. You shouldn't hear any clicking, and you shouldn't be seeing any milk dribble out of your baby's mouth when they're nursing. That way you ensure a good latch. If your baby is slipping off the latch or if they're biting you a lot, it could be because they have a tongue tie. Make sure that you work with a lactation consultant or a specialist that understands how to make sure the latch is correct in order for you to prevent your baby from getting all of that excess air and uncontrollably having to cry because they're so uncomfortable later in the day. If you have a baby that's bottle feeding, the same thing can happen. If you tilt your bottle at too high of an angle and they guzzle their milk or formula down, they also may be getting too much air. So make sure that you're taking breaks and make sure that you're burping the baby in between so they don't get too much air. And that will make sure they're not uncomfortable later in the day. My second simple secret to biohacking colic is look at the food you're consuming. If you have a breastfed baby, certain things have been known to make babies gassy. You can look and see what foods make you gassy, because if you're gassy and you're a breastfeeding mom, your baby's going to be gassy. So if there are foods that you know make you gassy, cut those out and you may notice a big difference. The other thing that I found that can be really helpful is reducing or eliminating certain foods for a period of time. My top things to eliminate for a breastfeeding baby, for a breastfeeding mother, would be dairy products and cruciferous veggies. Those are two things I've found in my practice when removed for a week or two really dramatically shift the amount of crying babies have, and mothers are so thankful for that information and happily remove the food for a couple of months until their baby's digestive system gets stronger. If you have a bottle-fed baby, you might want to look at the formula that you're using. If your baby is getting gastrointestinal distress and gassy from the formula it's having, you may want to switch it up. The top two things, again, I find irritating for babies that are bottle-fed in their formula are dairy-based formulas or soy-based formulas. So you want to look at that and shift that. My third simple secret to biohacking colic is a nap. Babies need sleep, and sleep begets sleep. So if your baby is not getting the appropriate amount of naps during the day, by the end of the day, they're cranky and irritated, and no amount of consoling might stop them from crying. I know it seems logical or intuitive that perhaps the longer we keep them up during the day, the more they sleep at night. But I'm here to tell you that doesn't work, and you may just be creating a cranky, irritated baby that just won't sleep at all. Ways that you can help induce naps. When you think it's time for your child to go to bed, and that usually means 20 to 45 minutes after they've been awake those first 8 weeks, you want to make the environment conducive to napping. Turn down the lights, don't get excited, maybe nurse or bottle feed. In worst case scenario, wrap them up, put them in a carrier or in their stroller, and take them outside. When you give the baby the opportunity to have a nap enough times and they're not overstimulated, they will go to sleep. And as you get that sleep cycle regulated, by making sure they have the opportunity to have a nap, you will have a baby that's less cranky at night, and they will sleep longer through the night. Remember, the first 8 weeks, if your baby is awake for hours at a time, you will have a cranky, overstimulated baby that cries a lot. Making sure that naps are happening on a regular basis during the day will help you avoid the dreaded colicky baby. Thanks for watching. Tag a new mom below who needs this. Follow me in my Myth Busting Motherhood Facebook group for more videos like this.